I recently bought one of these cheap ring LED lights, and I wanted to use it in some of my videos to improve the quality of the lighting. Powered by USB, it has this little controller which allows you to change the brightness of the LED as well as the colour. Well, it would do that if the LED light actually worked. It did work when I first had it and first plugged it in, but it's since stopped working, so I thought it'd be interesting just to open it up, have a little look inside and see if I can fix it. I'm expecting it to be very simple, so it should be something that'll be an easy fix, but it'll be interesting to take a look and see what's inside. So I'm just going to try and use a little spudger here to separate this. I doubt that it's going to be too difficult to open up. I can't see any screws, so hopefully this will just pop out. Starting to come apart now, I think. Let's just see if I can pull this. Okay, that was easy to come apart. You can see how simple it is inside, so let's just see if there's anything obvious. And actually I can already see why it's not working. I'll just bring this up closer so we got a better view of the wires, and you can see quite clearly that one of them is no longer connected. So it obviously wasn't attached particularly well. It also doesn't help that there's no strain relief on this cable. It's not actually fixed to the shell in any way, so if you pull it, you're pulling directly on those solder joints. It's certainly not particularly well designed, but I guess when you're paying such a low price for something, you expect it to be made as cheaply as possible. I only paid around £4 for this from Aliexpress, which is why I figured it was worth a go. I've just separated that wire there from the other two, but I'm thinking it might be worth just resoldering all three. I've decided I am going to redo all three, so I'm just going to desolder the other two now and get the wires prepared to hopefully solder them a bit more securely. I've removed the old solder from the solder joints and added some fresh, and the wires have been stripped and tinned. Now this is not going to be the most amazing solder job, but it should certainly be a lot better than the original. The LED ring is glued into the housing, so the soldering will have to be done with the ring still in place. It's not really ideal, and make it a little bit more tricky, but it's only 3 wires, so it shouldn't really be that difficult. Just this last wire to go now, and then hopefully it should be working again. So that's the soldering now done. I'll just put the soldering iron away and then take a closer look at the solder joints. You can see I did get a bit of solder on the housing. It doesn't really matter, I just obviously wasn't quite careful enough when I was soldering. The joints all look fine to me, certainly they look a lot better than they did originally. But I now want to try and do something with this cable to provide a bit of strain relief so that the wires can't get ripped off the pads. I'm going to use some hot glue to try and secure this cable in place. It should be strong enough to hold it and just provide that strain relief that I'm looking for. I think I'll start inside the housing and put a bit of hot glue to hold the individual wires in place. I'm also going to add a bit of glue onto the cable where it enters into the housing. So before I put the cover back on, I'm actually just going to test that it does work. I should probably have done that before hot gluing the wires in place, but I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work, so let's give it a go. So it's plugged in, now let's turn it on, and there we go, it is working now. All that's left now is to put the cover back on. This cover just snaps into place, so it should be really easy to put back on. And that's it, the LED ring light's fixed. A really easy one to fix in the end because of just how simple it is on the inside. Literally just an LED ring with 3 wires attached. I can't say for sure how useful this is going to be, but it's certainly a lot more useful now that it actually works. Soldering issue aside, it's not actually that bad for the price. While it does feel rather cheap, it's USB powered, it has controllable brightness, different modes to control the colour temperature of the light emitted, plus it came with a fitting to attach it to a tripod or arm. Hopefully I'll be able to use this to improve the lighting in future videos. I hope you like this video, thank you very much for watching, and be sure to stick around for the next one.